Hello, my friends, and happy December 3rd. And welcome to Master MicroStrategy, where you and I are working on mastering the genius that is Michel Saylor 7 days a week. This is the only 7 day a week show that is bringing you intel, insights, news, updates all around MicroStrategy, all around Michel Saylor, literally 7 days a week. So if you want that kind of stuff, I'm going to work hard for you. So I would appreciate a subscribe. That lets me know that this content is being consumed and enjoyed. So would love that. But please do remember, this is not financial advice. Consult a financial professional before making any financial decisions. And let's dive in today. The MSTR-tracker.com, as you can see, not much has transpired over the last day. Stock price at 380. S&P still at 117. Looks like it dropped three spots. 402,100 Bitcoin. Again, love that number, 2100. Michel Saylor is always doing these things. It's so fun to be a part of his ride. We have almost $15 billion profit for a 63% return percentage. So a lot of good things coming, which we'll be getting to in a little bit here, and as well as getting mocked by Jason Calacanis. I'll be sharing that as well. Some really cool news stories, some good tweets to dive into. And let's not hesitate. Let's start with the first article from NASDAQ. MicroStrategy Coinbase NASDAQ 100 entry in wake of record growth. And this article goes into some really good details about how both MicroStrategy and the NASDAQ, and Coinbase are potentially going to be inducted into the NASDAQ 100. The snapshot was taken back on November 29th. We'll know for sure later this month in December. It looks like both are going to be included. There is, some FUD. There is some individuals saying that, things like they may be considered financial companies. It may not qualify for NASDAQ 100, but a lot of things that I've shared earlier on this channel and that other people have shared is that MicroStrategy is definitely not considered a financial company, and they give a lot of reasons. I shared a lot of reasons on earlier videos as well. And so the NASDAQ 100 is comprised of the top non-financial companies in the U.S. and commands a market cap of over 26 trillion. And the update is going to be announced on December 13th and then finalized on December 20th. So right now, or I should say, when the snapshot happened, MicroStrategy was at around number 54 in the NASDAQ 100. So they should clearly be in, because anybody 75 and under should be clearly in. And of course, 54 is much lower than 75. So we are expecting that to happen. We don't think there's going to be any tomfoolery, but of course, we will keep you updated on that. And if it does happen, it's going to be a huge inflow for MicroStrategy, somewhere in the range of $2 billion for their initial allocation. And then after that, there's going to be upwards of $1 million of buying pressure a day, just of passive inflows from the NASDAQ 100. So very bullish. The next article I wanted to share is coming at you from Tip Ranks. They talk about MicroStrategy hits the halfway mark in its $21 billion Bitcoin funding plan. So this is really cool to see that they're already halfway there. And by they, I mean MicroStrategy. I mean Michel Saylor. They're halfway on the funding plan they announced in their Q3 earnings report. They are speeding on this trajectory. There's a lot of cool stuff in this article, how they have $11.3 billion remaining in their stock issuance. This kind of goes into more detail about their 21-21 plan. They talk about, is this a good buy, et cetera. So some good articles and some good information in there. I'll post a link to this article in the information below. And MicroStrategy stock soared 59% in November. And Motley Fool wants to know why. Now, again, Motley Fool has not proved to be a friend of MicroStrategy yet. Pretty foolish, if you ask me. I think, like everybody that does the research, they will eventually come around. And I can't wait to post their first very pro and bullish article on MicroStrategy, probably in the near-term future. I mean, they can't run away from this forever. They have to have semi-intelligent people over there, I would assume. Here's some key points. MicroStrategy surged along with Bitcoin, obviously. The Trump administration is expected to be friendly to crypto, obviously. And then, of course, they throw in a little dig. Short seller said he was short MicroStrategy stock because they can't not. So I just wanted to post this to show there's going to be FUD out there. There's going to be people that hate this. This is how a lot of people are saying, like like Punter Jeff and Ben Workman. This is going to be the most hated rally in a long time, because guess what? People are being left behind. People don't believe in this stock. People are shorting this stock. People don't want this stock to succeed because they have FOMO, because they missed out. So they want to just spew hate. I love saying how hurt people hurt people. That's just a reality. So that is a situation right now where when you see the negative articles, hey, we consume it. But at the same time, those of us who have actually done hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours of research, we know what the reality is. And listen, it's important to be well-rounded and to read both sides of the equation. But at the end of the day, let's make our own decisions. So this I wanted to share for a tweet. I thought this was a really cool tweet by Mason, the MSTR catalyst till February. You can see the QQQ inclusions happening on December 13th. The Fed meetings on December 18th. The reconstitution is on the 20th. And you can see the rest of the stuff that's happening here. Q4 earnings on February 9th, the 13F filings. And not to mention, we have the FASB fair accounting rules that will be implemented with MicroStrategy and a lot of other cool things that are happening here. So this is a really great post. Again, the articles below this are awesome as well, or I should say the comments below this are awesome as well. So definitely enjoy reading stuff like this from Mason and others. This tweet right here from Punter Jeff, he gives a peek into the MicroStrategy financial leverage over time. The key takeaways, and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I will say that all of these are really interesting. If you want to take the time to read these, just go ahead and pause this video. I'm not going to read them for you right now because it is a lot of information and you want to take some time to kind of absorb that. But go ahead, if you're listening to this on a podcast, by the way, just search youtube.com /at master MicroStrategy. That's where the YouTube channel is and all the visuals are. And he goes through a comparison of leverage ratios. He has a great chart here that, again, you can check out. And again, some of the comments are awesome as well. So definitely recommend this post, this tweet. Wanted to share this one as well because this is kind of where the title for this episode comes from. Jason, this guy, he just loves farming for engagements. I'm pretty convinced because, of course, he's an intelligent guy. He's been a great investor for a long time. He's made some terrible investments. He's made some great investments. He's made some investments in between. He's gotten really lucky. He's gotten really unlucky. He's like a human being. He's just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks, talking loud about his successes, hiding his failures, and everything in between. But, when Michel Saylor posted what Marathon is doing, which is kind of mimicking the MicroStrategy way, he just posted this. There are no red flags. Don't stop buying. Sell everything. Blah, 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 blah. It's a sure bet to the moon. This is satire, not investment advice. Listen, this guy's having fun. He knows that this is going to rally the MicroStrategy army, people that don't realize that he's doing this for the very reason that he wants your hate. He wants your engagement. He wants your attention. He's going for attention. So I consume this content. I don't engage with it. I don't want to add to his, engagement farming that he's doing. But hey, everybody's welcome to their opinion. And he's just allowing us to accumulate more MicroStrategy at lower prices. So in a way, thank you, Jason. This guy, Rajat, I love this guy. He has a great YouTube show as well. He wrote, the fact that MicroStrategy stock has gotten a bit boring over the past couple of weeks is a good thing. Everyone is buying for dopamine sells. Everyone is buying because they understand. So everybody buying for dopamine sells. So those individuals have sold. Everyone buying because they understand what Saylor is doing keeps holding. I understand what Saylor is doing. I hope that you understand or are gaining a better understanding of what Saylor is doing. We are holding because we know what's coming. And then again, great comments below. So thank you for this, Rajat. This one I wanted to share right here is from the Bitcoin Therapist. He shares this video by James Lavish, who is explaining how Michel Saylor is teaching Wall Street a Bitcoin masterclass. So let's go ahead and watch this and take it away, James.
Move over, Elon Musk, because nobody right now is rattling the cages of traditional Wall Street more than Michel Saylor. Of course, it's the same crowd of naysayers who lost billions of dollars shorting Tesla. And well, they're at it again with their friends in the financial media, taunting Bitcoin, Michel Saylor, and of course, all the suckers who are drinking the Kool-Aid. Nobody would call my next guest a sucker, but I think he's drinking the Kool-Aid too. I want to bring a Bitcoin Opportunity Fund co-managing partner, James Lavish. James, explain the value proposition for those at the back of the room who haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here, Charles. Thank you for having me. Drinking the Kool-Aid is a good way to put it. But look, Michel has come up with a brilliant strategy at MicroStrategy, and people are calling it a money glitch for a reason. Why? Because Michel has found a way to issue stock and make it immediately accretive for his shareholders. This is something that Wall Street is not used to. Normally, you issue shares, you do a secondary, and it's usually dilutive unless you can do something very quickly to make to create some value for your shareholders. Well, what he does is he's borrowing money and buying Bitcoin with it. So just for instance, if he issues $100 million of stock and he buys $100 million of Bitcoin, the stock goes up $200 to $300 million in market value, and it's immediately accretive, not dilutive. And that's because people understand what he's doing. The people who are buying his stock understand what he's doing, and that he's creating this value for them, this underlying value for them. The other thing he's doing is he's issuing convertible debt. And he can do that, Charles, at near zero yield. Or the last one he did was $3 billion for 0% yield. Well, why can he do that? He can do it because the MSTR stock, his stock is volatile. And it's volatile because of the underlying holding, Bitcoin. But it's also volatile to the upside, which creates optionality for his buyers. And so he's able to issue these converts at almost zero yield because there's optionality for those hedge funds to buy that convert debt and trade around it, and then ultimately they'll look to convert it into the underlying stock, and they'll get value from that as well.
Right. So James, we're going to put up a chart showing MicroStrategy and Bitcoin itself. MSTR significantly outperformed. The value proposition that you just described, is that the only thing? Is there some other sort of arbitrage situation going on?
I would think that there are hedge funds that are trying to arbitrage this, and that would be buying Bitcoin or buying Bitcoin futures and then shorting MicroStrategy, which I would say is a pretty dangerous strategy. I wouldn't be doing that myself. But the reason is what I just said, is that it's trading at a multiple because he's creating Bitcoin, underlying Bitcoin, by borrowing money against it. And as you go into the future, these shares will be worth more because of that underlying Bitcoin. Now, how long this goes on for, it's hard to say, but it can go on for a very long time. He's right now trading, if you take all the shares, dilute all of them out, and assume that every single share is converted from all those converts, he's trading at about a 2.7 multiple of shares, the share price to the underlying Bitcoin. Where that ultimately goes, I mean, he thinks he has a lot of runway here. Yeah. He can do this. He's talking about buying up to 1 million Bitcoin. And he's got 400,000 right now, so there's a way to go.
I've got less than a minute to go, but there are some critics out there, and I mean some really smart people, right? I saw where you replied to a post, Steve Hanke, I think, really smart, very successful guy. He's been on this show where he's got this sort of cartoon, and highly speculative, comparing it to the Mississippi Company, one of the most famous bubbles in history. What do you think folks like that are missing?
I think that the ego sometimes betrays you. I dismissed it twice in my career, Charles, and I've been on Wall Street for a long time, for 30 years. And I just outright dismissed it. I didn't do the work. And I think a lot of these people are either not doing the work or refusing to admit that they're wrong. I mean, the reality is that Bitcoin is extremely a rapidly growing network that's operated continuously since 2013, processed over 1 billion transactions, maintaining over 11 years of uninterrupted service. The network is secured by 175 terawatt hours of power per year. That's the equivalent of 20 nuclear reactors running continuously. So if you just put it simply, the Bitcoin network is a fortress of digital power that's nation-state level resistant and growing stronger every day. And that's why we're invested in it. That's why we started the fund, and we see tremendous opportunity around the ecosystem and the opportunities in Bitcoin in the future.
Well, congratulations for looking around your own ego, and number two, making people a lot of money. It's a great combination. James, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
And there you have it, my friends. I just love when individuals have been in Wall Street for 30 years plus, and they dismissed it, rejected the Bitcoin idea once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, sometimes even 5 times. In James's case, he said he rejected it at least twice. He probably rejected it more times than that. And then they come around because why? They do the work. They understand. They now see what exactly Bitcoin is, the promise that it is, because it is perfect money. I believe that. I truly believe that Bitcoin is perfect money. I think it should make up a majority of my portfolio. So it does. I love the fact that I'm able to have a minority, quite large, but minority stake in MicroStrategy because of what they're building. So I love having that as a counterparty, as my kind of explore on Bitcoin, a levered play on something that I believe in so much, which is Bitcoin. Now a small percentage can be in MicroStrategy and see what that does. Maybe it goes way up, maybe it goes way down, maybe it does something in the middle, like only time will tell. But I believe in Michel Saylor. I believe in MicroStrategy. I believe in what they're doing because I've put in the work. I've put in the hundreds and thousands of hours listening, reading, consuming, watching, viewing, doing all the things, thinking, going on walks and just thinking. So please do your own research, do your own work, do your own consumption of content. I love the fact that you're watching this right here. So thank you for doing that. My commitment to you is to put out the latest and greatest on MicroStrategy, on Michel Saylor, 7 days a week, literally every single day. You can see I haven't missed a day since I started. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It'll just come up on your morning walk, on your morning commute. It'll come up, and it'll come up every day because I'm releasing a show every single day. Our comments have gotten a little heated recently in a good way. We've had a couple big naysayers come in, and we've kind of not, I don't like to battle them because they're entitled to their own opinion. I just like to say, hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for consuming. Your opinion is valuable because you're a human being, but I happen to disagree with it. Best of luck in your thesis because I think you're going to need it because I believe we're going to have a fantastic future when it comes to Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and everything that is involved with that. So please remember, this is not financial advice. This is just my thoughts, my opinions, my research, my giving you the news, the articles, etc. Consult a financial professional before making any decisions. And always remember, there is no second best.